Hello YouTube, this is Chris Convictional Services. Today's video is going to be on a CIA document that I found when me and my wife were still staying at my mother-in-law's a few years ago, helping her with her medical problems, and I just completely had forgot all about it. Um, we got busy over there, and in my other research that I was doing, digging and going through things like I do, and helping my mother-in-law with her medical issues, and then trying to take care of my own house, and then my computer went stupid, and um, it how I have these here. That's nowhere near all the video tabs that I have for videos. Had reset during a update from Windows, and so I lost everything, and now I'm having to put everything back together. So I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm gonna try not to rant till the end of the video because most of my videos, according to YouTube analytics, don't get very many views past, well, many views at all, because my videos are ghosted and suppressed because they don't like the truth. But I don't get past a couple minutes, so I'm gonna try not to rant until the end. I'm gonna try to keep it short. But so I was scrolling Facebook, and I come across this Facebook reel, which I'm gonna show you in a minute. And so I went and looked it up, and I remembered the video. I remember the document. Um, I read all 100 pages. Uh, and So let's go ahead and get on to this. So I looked up, when did NASA and Russia start going to space? Because this is important. This is just more proof that they know the Earth is biblically flat, and they tell you right in their own documents they know as much. So so it says NASA began their space exploration efforts in 1950 in the late 1950s. The space race officially started when the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 on October 4th, 1957. Remember that year, uh, marking the first artificial satellite in orbit. NASA established shortly after on July 29th, 1958, and launched its first satellite, Explorer 1, on February 1st, 1958. The first human in space was Yuri Gagarin. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, who orbited Earth on April 12th, 1961, aboard Vostok 1, representing the Soviet Union. Now, it's important that you remember those dates because if these dates are correct, okay, and they really did these things, which they didn't, but if they really did these things, then they would know without a shadow of a doubt that the earth is what they claim. That it's not by biblical cosmology, it's what they claim of this false, fake spinning water ball and fake space and fake planets and solar systems and galaxies. They would already know this. If they can launch satellites into orbit, okay, in 1957 and 58, they would know without a shadow of a doubt of what the real true shape of the earth was. Okay? So I'm going to play you the Facebook reel, and then we'll go into the documents from the CIA.gov, the reading room. And I'll post the link in the About Me section, or the description box, and you guys can go here yourself and read it for yourself. And yes, I know uh, that they put this out. They put the reading room out there for to see who knows what and stuff of that nature, and it makes them watch you more and this and that, blah blah blah. I'm very much aware of that. But they're already watching and listening to everything I say and do, and everything you say and do, and every keystroke on your phone or laptop or whatever, on your gaming consoles or whatever. They know all of it. They watch it all. They hear it all. We're not getting into that. So listen to what she has to say, and this is what put me back on this document again that I completely forgot about. But yeah, listen to what she has to say, and then we'll go to the document and read it for ourselves.
Hey there.
Because I get told all the time that I don't do my own research. Okay, I got family, I got friends that tell me all the time I don't do my own research. I just listen to people online. I just watch Facebook Reels and YouTube, and I don't do my own research. I don't do my own experiments, which I've proven that I do. Um, but why is the burden of proof on me and people like me? You know, you're the one that has this so-called established model, and yet all you do, and you really don't know it. You don't know it the way you think you do, and yet you just regurgitate what you're told without doing any experiments yourself, without doing any research yourself, and then hate on me and tell me I'm not doing it and tell me I'm hate filled and I'm judgmental and I'm not a biblical Christian. I'm not a real Christian and I'm not this and I'm not that. But then you do the exact same thing you're accusing me of that I'm not doing or that I am doing, as far as I do my own research, but then you're not doing your own research. I'm not following blindly, you're following blindly. So, anyway, listen to what she has to say.
How many of you guys knew that the CIA released documents about the firmament? Oh, you didn't know? Well, let me show you. Let's get a little bit closer, shall we? This was released in 2000. It was originally done in 1957. This is the number you can look it up by. Firmament. You can find it on page 19.
I'm seeing a lot more people printing stuff like this out because that way, if it gets changed, uh, or the document disappears, like I've had some disappear. I found something and I went back later to make a video about it when I finally had a time, and the document was no longer there. Or they so this is what people are doing now, and if I could, I would. But this is what they're doing now. They're printing the documents out so that they can have them in their own possession, and they're not going to just get removed and scrubbed.
Here's where they talk about the near and local sun, flat earth, and firmament again, found on page 20. These images prove beyond a doubt that the CIA approved document from 1957 that explicitly uses the word firmament, flat earth, near sun halo, and discusses the brightness behavior over a flat surface. This isn't a theory or a guess. These are their own words in declassified, peer-reviewed Soviet scientific study translated and archived by the CIA. The word firmament was scientifically used. They didn't use the word atmosphere. They said firmament.
Which they did use the word atmosphere, not in that particular spot right there, but in other spots. And they do that, like I've said before, they sprinkle their lies in there and they sprinkle the truth in there and mix it all together. That way they can keep the people that are still believing their lies and their brainwashing, they can keep them into that. Um, and they tell the truth because they have to, because God makes them tell the truth. He makes the devil tell the truth, the demons tell the truth, and the evil spirits and their puppets tell the truth, within the lies. That way, God's Holy Spirit, like I've said before, can guide you to that truth. And so they put the truth in there in plain sight in movies, TV shows, music, their own documents, and stuff like that, that God can use to point people to the truth, and not just to the truth in the document, but to the Bible, and then to his son Jesus, and ultimately to him, to God. But yeah, they do use the word atmosphere in this document. But if you have researched as much as I have, into just this topic alone, this whole document is a flat Earth document, all 100 pages, pretty much. Um, but yeah,
Hey there.
okay, so that's the end of that. So I went on the CIA CIA reading room. I went here and I typed in the page that she had given, the document number. Um, this here, she blocks it up here, but later on she shows it in another one part of the document. If you put this number in here into this, it will pull up the document. Okay. And this is the document number here. I will copy this and paste this in the description box so you can go here yourself. And then if you don't want to read the whole thing and you just want to skip around, you can go here like I've shown before, click on it, backspace, or just type in the number or the page you want, hit enter, and it will bring you to the page, okay? Which is what I did. With the page 19 and 20, but as I was scrolling down, I came across this page, and so I wanted to put this at the beginning so that you can actually see for yourself a little bit more of who was all involved in this documentation and a little bit more what was going on. Um, so this is obviously up to page 19 and page 20. So this is um, the author. I cannot even pronounce their name. Okay. I'm not even going to try. Title Development of Atmospheric Optics in Kazakhstan. Source, it gives all the different here if you want to read this. It says text, the study of atmospheric optic in Kazakhstan. But various parts of the USSR arrived there to study the total solar eclipse. Soon afterwards, it was decided by the Council of Ministers of the USSR at the initiative of V.G. I can't pronounce that name, to create the Institute of Astronomy and Physics at the Kakaza branch of the Academy of Science, USSR. The early days of the Institute coincided with the difficult stage of the Second World War, so uh, that great obstacle were encountered in the instrument construction mini instruments card 1-4. All right. So let's go on to the page 19 that she brought up in the video. And I'm like I said, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. So uh uh let's get on with this. Disorientation defended in the Scientific Council of the Institute of Physics of the Earth, Institute of the Physics of the Atmosphere, and Institute of Applied Geophysics AC.SC.USSR during the first semester of 1957. Okay, remember I showed you at the beginning, they should have already known uh, that the Earth was what they're claiming that it is and what they're having the schools teach and everything else. Okay, so it says dot V. Blah, 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 investigation of the scattering of the light in the Earth's atmosphere. Let's see here. This is all the doctors and stuff that's involved in this. Okay, March 23rd, 1957. The disorientation represents the results of many years of study, and the clear daytime sky. The observations were carried out in 12 locations at various altitudes above the sea. Okay, so let's see here. Various climatic, meteorological, and synoptic conditions. The observations were carried out mainly during high transparency of the atmosphere in the visual range of the spectrum in the absence of the snow cover. Investigations, two instruments designed by V.G. Can't pronounce his last name, were used. One of these was a bright visual photometer of the daytime sky intended for measuring the brightness of the firmament. That's a biblical word. The other was photoelectric halo photometer for determining the brightness from. Okay, then it goes into the next document, which is document 20. This one here. But why are they, if they know the Earth isn't flat, why are they calibrating and making machinery to run on and read and register and study the flat earth. And at the end, I'm going to show a document uh, that I've talked about and did the videos before, but I'm going to add it into this as well. It's NASA emitting a non rotating flat earth. Okay. And this again is in the same thing, it's the same heading, 1957, near sun halo. Now, remember what that said up here? The brightness from the near sun halo and also from the sun on a surface perpendicular to these rays. The disorientation, now again, they mentioned the near sun. It's its own thing. It's not one word, near sun halo. You can't have a halo in space, in the so-called space. The sun's halo is on Earth. Near sun halo. What does the Bible say? And people like me say it's a smaller and local sun, near sun halo. Um, certain formulas of the brightness of the sky take in consideration only the brightness of the first order of derived on the assumption of a flat Earth. Why? Why would you need to assume a flat Earth if you already knew the Earth is a ball? If you already knew planets, solar systems, and galaxies already existed. Because you already launched a satellite, and NASA, at this time, and then NASA supposedly launched satellites into the atmosphere above Earth, right, in 1958, and you did it in 1957. So wouldn't you already know the Earth isn't flat? So why are you assuming a flat Earth? And calibrating your equipment to register and read and study the flat Earth. You know, let's get on with this other document here, and then I'll rant a little bit, most likely. So, and this is NASA.gov, okay? And I did a video on this a while back, but I'm going to add it here anyway because they're telling you the truth in their own documents. And you may not have seen my older videos. A lot of people that are new to my channel don't watch my older videos. But derivation of defi- uh, definition of a linear aircraft model. A linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft is of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Is derived and defined. Huh? And this document was done in 1988. I'll show you in a minute. So if in 1988 we have already supposedly went to the moon in 1969, you would already definitely know, not just from the satellites in 1957 and 58, you should have already known then, but you should have definitely known here in 1988. I'll show you the date, like I said, in a minute. And I'll go post this because I know with the age of AI, demonic AI, and all that, all this stuff can be faked, and a lot of other things can be faked. And so, just like always, before the AI, I did the same thing, so you can see it for yourselves. Not just look at it on my screen, on your screen that I'm posting, or on my video, but you can actually go look at the documents yourself. Okay. You can see I'm not doctoring anything. I'm not making anything up. It's all right in front of you yourself on your own computer, your own phone, whatever, and read it for yourself. Okay? But you would think that in 1988, you would know that it's not your airplanes are not flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. And I've had people try to explain this away, of the flat Earth that's talking about the ground. It's not saying the Earth is flat; it's flying over a flat surface. But like I tell them, okay, so let's just say that that's true. Why do they also use the word non-rotating? Because if the Earth is not rotating, then it's not spinning and zipping through space like NASA claims that it is with their lies. So you mix that with the flat flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth, then you would know that it's literally talking about what the Bible says. The earth is firmly established, can never be what? Moved. And it talks about the earth taking shape like a clay cell under a ring. On a foundation. It literally tells you all throughout Scripture, beginning of the Bible to the end of it, of a flat, non-rotating earth. Okay, so this is the document type, NASA reference publication by this is the guy here, authors, NASA Hughes Dryden Flight Research Center, Edwards, California. I know right where that's at. I don't live too far from there. And then here's the other author, another author. They're all in the same spot. Publication date, or date acquired was September 5th, 2013, right? But here's the publication date, August 1st, 1988. So you're telling me that in 1988, when we had supposedly already went to the moon in 1969, they didn't know that the Earth wasn't flat? Because why would you spend all that money and all that time and all that effort making airplanes to fly over, just like all the equipment I just showed you in that last document? Why would you spend all them billions and millions and trillions of dollars making and designing these things and testing these things over something that doesn't exist? Let that sink in, people. People always want to come at people like me and say we don't do our own research. We make up things. We believe in the Bible that doesn't know cosmology. Well, first they say that the Bible's not, it doesn't talk about the flat Earth, and when you prove that it does, they didn't know cosmology. But then they're Bible believing Christians, make that one make sense. And and then they're like, oh, you don't do your own research. Well, obviously I do. And they say, oh, where does it say that? Where does NASA say that? Where does this person say that? Where does that person say that? And then you show them documents like this in the CIA.gov reading room, and they try to explain it away. They want you to do all these crazy experiments that most people can't afford to do, but then they won't do the experiments themselves. They just regurgitate what NASA says. You want to put the burden of proof on us, but you don't want the burden of proof on you. We show you our evidence and proof, but then you just yell, scream, and cuss and call names and mock and ridicule and make fun of, and had no attention to actually hearing what we had to say. No intentions of looking at the evidence. You say you want to talk in private, and this goes out to multiple people, not just one person in particular. You want to talk in private, but then you don't want to answer your phone. You don't want to answer messages. You tell me you're busy. But then you want to go through every single one of my posts on YouTube and Facebook or whatever and belittle me, mock me, and make fun of me and try to gotcha moments, mic drops that really aren't even those things. They're not mic drops. They're not gotcha moments. To make yourself look like you're smarter than I am and how dumb I am and how smart you are in the public. You yell, scream, and cuss and hang up the phone on me. And again, this is not going out to one specific person. This is going out to multiple people that do these things to me and to others. You don't want to hear the truth. If you wanted to hear and see the truth, you would actually listen and actually take in consideration. You forget that we once believed your model. We once believed the same things that you do or a variation of it, whether it be Jesus is God. I never believed that. But a lot of people do, and they're coming to that realization that he's not, that Scripture doesn't teach that. He's the Son of God, and that's what he claimed to be, and that's what he is. They're coming to the realization the earth is biblically flat. But they all once believed, or I once believed in certain things that I no longer do. What's sad is that I've noticed that a lot of biblical flat earthers know that model, the double lie ball model, the heliocentric model, more than people that still believe that model do. We understand it more than you do, but you don't understand the biblical model. Especially, like I said, when you say you're a biblical Christian. Stop cherry picking and believing what you want to believe just because it fits you and fits your narrative and what your beliefs are and what you choose to believe with your free will. And no, I'm not trying to sound like I don't sin. I haven't sinned. I don't fall. I'm better than you. I'm perfect, or I know more. I'm smarter, or whatever. Because I'm not. I have sinned. I continue. I still fall in sin. Not on purpose, but I do. And the Bible warns about, or tells us that, more grace is given to us in those moments. And should we go on continue willfully sinning? Most certainly not. To get more grace, we shouldn't do that. But when we do slip and fall and we do sin, we get more grace by God. When we're trying to do the right thing, when we're trying to live biblical, God gives us more grace because he sees we're trying. I'm not acting like I'm better than anybody else, but people like to say that I do because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel better thinking that I'm trying to look how smart I am, look how much more I know than you. I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm holier than you. I'm this, I'm that. I no, that's how you're being towards me because you don't want to hear anything outside of what you currently believe. So you're acting that way towards me. You're acting judgmental towards me, saying I'm acting judgmental when you're the one mocking, ridiculing me, and making fun of me and my beliefs, my biblical beliefs. You're doing the same thing to me. You're accusing me of doing to you and to others, but I'm not. I'm not doing that. Where in the Bible does it say to accept things that aren't true? Where does it say to play word salad? Where does it say to um, judge people? It doesn't. You know, it doesn't teach us to just accept what other people say, even though it doesn't go with the Bible, because that's what, makes them feel good. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I rambled on a little bit long enough at the end there. Use all the links about me section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Much love. God bless. And I will see you on the next one.